I'm Kaycee.
And I'm Ray, and this is Pleasure and Play, the show. Okay, perfect. All right. Well, here I am with the lovely Kaycee, and I'm so happy to have you here with me.
Yay.
I could go on and on and on about just like how excited I am to follow you on Instagram, which is where I found you. I think it's been over a year now, and finding you during a pandemic was like crucial for my life.
Thank you again for having me. I'm really excited for our conversation today. I'm really excited about empowering people to own their pleasure, and to really take ownership for what's happening for their mental health and how it's connected to their sexual pleasure.
Not only am I friends with her in my head, like through Instagram, but we're actually neighbors. I'm in North Dallas,
Yes,
so one of these days we'll have to get together and actually.
absolutely.
Kaycee and I found each other like many of you have, online, and more specifically, Instagram. Like two kids on a playground, we had the bright idea to start a business and form a friendship at the same time. Our platform, Pleasure and Play, provides a space for cross-generational fun and freedom. Kaycee was born in the 70s and me at the break of the 90s. So we've lived through different cultural eras that allows us to bring different perspectives and navigate sensitive discussions on life, love, identity, and so much more. We created this show because we are obsessed with being Black women and having conversations that reveal our complexities and simplicities alike. We created this show to celebrate the space we've carved out for ourselves, online and in real life, that allows us to disrupt our norms and dive deep beneath our personal comforts to give some voice to that cross-generational friendship. We believe that every person who watches will connect with some aspect of our journey and be inspired to choose more vulnerability and courage. We love the fact that we've come from two different eras and still we found ourselves in one another. And now we hope you'll find yourself here and enjoy the interactive exercises shared with our community here on Pleasure and Play the show.
Hey, I'm Kaycee Polite. I'm a sex therapist. I'm a clinical social worker. I'm a wife. I'm a mother of a teenager. Pray for me. I'm a fur mommy. Love my fur babies. And I'm a lover of all things pressed green juice. I have sort of an addiction, along with French fries. What a combination. I'm a lover of all things music theater. I absolutely feel my best when I'm by the water. Yeah, guess what? I can't swim, but that's not the point. The point is I feel grounded when I'm near the ocean, and I'm definitely an extrovert who has some introverted tendencies. So that's me.
Hey guys, it's Rachel Ray, but please call me Ray. I am a coach, a consultant, a curator, and a creator. My life's work is all about helping millennials and others stay weird and wild and well by honoring their creative expression in everything that they do. And so for me, that looks like books, nerd in every sense of the word, and writing and performance, yoga, music, food, culture. I even started a supper club because I wanted to bring all of those elements together and kind of honor the rituals and practices of Black people. We've historically always come together, cipher style, to heal and to learn and to practice with one another. So that's kind of how I express that. Well, I do not have children of my own. I'm the oldest of a really large tribe, so I'm pretty full in my spirit, but I would like to start my own at some point soon in the future. I love tea, but coffee's been becoming my thing in my 30s. Definitely not a coffee snob, so if anyone has any suggestions for me, send it my way. I do like it dark. Yeah, I am looking forward to getting to know everyone and sharing myself vulnerably here on the Pleasure and Play show. I'm excited to see where it takes us. It's completely unscripted and raw and real, and I hope that you all love it. And thank you for trusting us to be, partners in your creative expression, and hopefully in you staying weird and wild and well.
Have you ever flirted in a DM? There's one person out here in these streets that I have a crush on.
Oh, you know what? I do remember a good shoot your shot that I got.
I can't wait to hear these answers.
Hi, Kaycee.
Hi, Ray. How are you?
So good. Happy to be back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I want us to talk about this concept that honestly your generation has coined.
Mm-hmm.
The millennials coined the phrase shoot your shot.
Yeah, I would definitely say so.
Yeah, that was not a thing in my time.
It was a thing. It just didn't have a name,
Didn't
right?
have a name.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So this idea that you take a risk, so here's the thing. It is beyond like a leap of faith.
Totally.
Shooting your shot is like courage that I feel like you have to pull out of I don't even know where. Like someplace where when you shoot your shot in any situation, you totally release the idea of what the outcome is going to be.
Definitely.
Like you just don't care.
That's such a good way to put it, because the IDGAF culture lines perfectly with the shoot your shot, because it's like, I'm doing this for me.
Yes.
And if I gain it, awesome.
Yeah.
But if not, your loss. It's kind of that's
There's
the
so
attitude.
much confidence in shoot your shot, right? Yeah. And so
I love that.
you can shoot your shot in any aspect of your life.
Absolutely.
And
Yes.
business, personal. So I want to know, in this dating world that you've been in, have you slid in someone's, first of all, I don't like that phrase, slide in someone's DM. So let me just put that
What would
on
you say
record.
instead? What would you call it?
Show up in someone's DM.
Stand tall?
Yeah.
Knock in?
Knock in.
Yeah.
I like that. Like, hey.
Yeah. I don't slide anywhere, so I understand that. So I'm with you. Ain't no
What you mean you
slide
don't
over
slide?
here.
You
Like,
don't slide? Because you know what, slide implies that like it
Slick,
takes the
right?
confidence, right? And it
Yeah.
takes the confidence out.
It
And it just
does.
sounds, I don't know, I don't like it.
yeah, it's kind of like falling in love versus like standing in love or being in love,
Yes.
yeah, or choosing love.
So how did you just bust up in someone's DMs boldly in a personal, have you ever flirted in a DM?
Definitely have flirted.
So that was after there was
Yeah.
already some established.
So the
But
thing
you didn't
is,
come in with it.
Yeah, I'm an introvert. So the truth is, like, it's very rare that you're gonna find me. Not because I lack confidence, but the DMs are very impersonal in that way. And
Yeah.
I use my social media for business primarily, or for starting professional relationships and then nurturing them.
Yeah.
So it's rare that that I even have an inclination to flirt with someone in DMs. Now, I've returned a flirt or suggestion. It's led to some dates even, but that's another story.
Okay.
You asked me, have I?
Yes, have you?
Romantically, none, no.
Okay.
Is an emoji sliding in a DM? Like,
Yeah,
when
you're showing
cute?
up.
Yeah, but I wanted nothing. I just wanted to let you know that I see you. Like, is that really sliding in a DM?
So that's really not shooting your shot with someone if you don't have an intention for it to be something else, other than you just wanted to make their day and let them know. Yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay.
That's my
safe.
sheet. Yeah. I mean, if I want something though,
you get it.
I'll go after it. I guess I haven't in this space. Well, you know the truth. There's one person out here in these streets that I have a crush on, and I haven't had a crush in a good decade. So, but I would never feel that it would be appropriate to shoot my shot in DMs with that person, because I think that they get enough of that.
And so I'm an original.
Do you assume that they do?
No, I know. This is a conversation that's been shared. You know, when you're in the limelight, people talk about that.
Okay.
And this person has shared a lot about their relationship history and all that stuff.
So you
I
don't
would
want to
be that person. No. Yeah. But that's the only reason. I think other than that, I have some things to say if it were available to me to say. So yeah, that's it.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you?
So no, not in a romantic sense.
Yeah.
So since social media has been out, I've always been in a relationship or married. So there's that.
Yeah.
So, but I did, I guess it's not shooting your shot, but I did drop in to the actor Loren Tate's DMs to compliment him on a t-shirt that he wore once.
Yeah.
He did not reply.
It's okay.
And I just had to accept that he probably gets a lot of messages.
And just count it on the fact that he probably doesn't even manage his social. Like, people are not these, and I'm not, listen, shout out to Lorenz if you are, totally.
Or maybe it's a duo. Like, you have access as well as someone
somebody who's like.
Yeah.
Just imagine someone's like, General.
This little girl.
Right. Little girl. Stop it. You're too much.
Who's this chick?
No, I think that's hilarious. Okay. Well, in that case, maybe I have shot my shot, but again, more non-romantic.
Okay.
Anytime I want to work with someone,
business-wise,
I'm shooting my shot confidently, and I would say I have about a 70% conversion.
I need to do that more.
I don't often. There isn't a surplus of people that I feel like I want to work with. Usually, it's when I feel the intuition kick in, I'll go after it. I think relationships can be built from a high quality standpoint if you reach out to someone and you actually take the time to know them prior to asking for something, and you're clear about what you're looking for.
That's what you did to me.
Yeah, that's how I did. That's technically, yeah. Well, ours is a little different. Our story is a little different because
because it wasn't
genuinely
initially
followed you.
Yes. Yeah. So I think you commented about some content.
Yes, and I really
gave some
appreciation.
What you gave.
Yeah.
Then later you kind of circled back.
Yeah.
And was like, by the way, I'm an amazing millennial who runs my own business, and I would love to. And I was like, who is she? This is amazing. What is she doing?
You're so good to me, Kaycee. No, I remember that being a transition for us because I didn't have any intention on working with you per se. I just really admired the work you were putting out, and it served me at a time I needed it. So by the time a year later almost, when I did reach out to you, it was because Mental Health Awareness Month was coming up, and I wanted my academy to have an expert in the field who could also just share their personal journey, and you were just the only person I could see. And look at us. That was how I shot my shot. It was. If you want it, you know where to find the guys. Come to the academy. But yes, that was the beginning of a friendship that we. Yeah. Wow.
That's so dope.
One of my favorite shots made. Whoop whoop.
Yes. And I feel like I need to, when appropriate, business wise, I think I need to utilize the platform even more for that.
Yeah.
Because I don't necessarily, and my work doesn't lend to that at the moment. However, our business will.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to utilize it in that respect.
I love it. I think there is a conversation that could be had very quickly around using social media and confidence, like creating a false sense of confidence.
Yeah.
And so I think we do have to check ourselves and make sure that just like any relationship that is organic, your intentions are pure.
Yeah.
And that you know what you have to offer. This is something I teach. It's like, your end of the reciprocity before you go asking. And I think that because you are who you are and you stand as you do in business, but also in your relationships, I think you'll just have so much success with shooting your shot that way. Whereas I think people who struggle with it and maybe don't have a positive response or feel like, people never hit me back. I'm like, but what was your energy like? And what was your motive and intention? Because folks don't want fake love and they can feel it.
No, because there's a million other people.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure there were thousands of folks, like, let's just be real, in your DM over time that you just kind of, it's not a good fit, or
Yeah.
you're not aligning with it, or
Yes.
timing.
Yes, all the above.
Yeah. And the purpose of this game is to essentially see how well you know yourself, how it's a test of confidence, strength, and just self-awareness, because that same energy that you're going to bring in this game is the same thing that we want to encourage as you shoot your shot in all areas of your life. So can you bring it? Can you answer those questions? We need 2 audience members. Can we get 2 volunteers?
2 volunteers.
Okay, we got 1. We need 1 more.
I'll go.
This will be Team Ray first. So
Team Ray, okay.
So remember, your goal is to get through as many as you can in 2 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
Let us
Okay.
know
Let me know where you're
time
gonna
starts.
start, Ray.
1 moment.
Where do you want me to count you down? I'm gonna count you to 3, and then you start. I can't wait to hear these answers. Like, this is gonna be interesting. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
What color is your toothbrush?
It's like a turquoise color.
What is one thing you would put on your bucket list?
Travel around the world.
Who do you admire the most?
Oh, that's a loaded one. If I had to choose, it would be myself. Since I can't name one person, it would be me.
Love it. What's your favorite summer activity?
The beach. I love the ocean. I love sailing.
Oh, nice. If a movie was made of your life, what genre would it be?
Comedy, because comedy has a little bit of everything, so comedy.
If you could be any flavor of ice cream, what ice cream flavor would you
be? Butter pecan, old school.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
I can't answer that one. Skip.
What is
I want to go everywhere, so.
What is your dream job?
Philanthropy.
Are you a morning or night person?
It depends. Either or.
What's your favorite hobby?
I love to read.
What's one thing that annoys you the most?
Dishonest people, liars.
What's the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
Maybe a snail, I guess.
Okay. What is one of your weird quirks?
Things need to be in place. Like, I like cleanliness, so I don't, but I need it to be clean.
Thriving in this Virgo season. Describe yourself in
Time's up. Time's up.
Okay, perfect. So we got through 12 answers with the one.
All right. So we need 13 or more over here. And by the way, they are different questions. So hopefully you didn't think that they were gonna be the same, because that would just be too simple, right? Describe yourself in 3 words.
Outgoing, funny, intelligent.
Perfect. If you could trade lives with anyone for a day, who would it be?
Michelle Obama.
What is the first thing you do when you get up in the morning?
Thank God, gratitude.
What is your favorite movie quote?
Is the TV on? I said, is the TV on? No, Brooklyn.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
I love it.
Oh shoot, did I lose my place?
Oh God, Kaycee.
Okay. If you could get yourself anything, what would you get?
$1 million.
Where's the worst place you could get stuck?
The worst place, probably in hell.
Where would you go if you were invisible?
Probably to Jay-Z and Beyonce's house.
Oh, I love it. Describe the perfect kiss in 3 words.
Spontaneous. Oh, you said 3. Spontaneous.
3 words.
Oh my gosh, let's skip.
Okay. How many books have you read so far this year?
Oh, easily over 20 for sure.
Okay. You're going to fill in the blank. When I dance, I look like.
It depends on if I'm inebriated or not. I look like I'm having fun.
Okay. If you
Not a
were
dancer.
famous, what would you be famous for?
Um, educating.
Great. What is the worst job you could have?
The worst job you can have is working
Time.
for anybody.
Time. Okay.
But I'll count that one. Let's see.
I'm looking
Oh
at it.
yeah, you
Wait,
have
13.
11.
I feel like these questions were so hard.
Yeah.
I was like,
Try it.
what's the
I
color of
need
your
to try
nails?
it.
What's your favorite color? Blue or
You had to
green?
make it challenging.
Kaycee, you asked me if I've ever shot my shot by sliding into someone's DMs.
Yes.
And, we talked about that, kind of left off on the piece around, professional shooting a shot. Done a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, what about the receiving end? I cannot imagine that your DMs are not flooded. So
They're fun.
give me something good.
They're sweet. So let me start with what annoys me.
Okay.
What annoys me are things like, are you married? There's no hello, there's no nothing, just are you married?
Mm-hmm.
And my thought is, if I were a man getting ready to shoot that shot, I would look through.
Do your research.
So you can see I have posted my husband. So clearly I should not lead with, are you married? Because that makes me think you really haven't even looked at my content.
Yeah. Your bot, maybe?
So that is, I don't know, that just, but I mean, those are people really shooting their shot and just really.
Is that
So
shooting your shot?
They think it is.
Oh,
They-
okay.
They presented themselves. They want to know if I'm married.
What happens next when you tell? What do you even do? Just swipe them, ignore them?
Most of the time I ignore it.
Yeah.
I don't respond.
Yeah.
Every now and then I may say yes happily.
Right.
And I just do those 2 words. And then sometimes they won't respond, or they'll come back with, I think my favorite ones are when they like compliment he's a lucky guy.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Those are nice.
Yeah.
And I leave it
Yeah.
at that.
That's good.
Yes.
That's a great. I love the respect, like the culture of respect through social.
Yes.
You don't get it all the time, but when we do, it's like, hey, good job, doing a good job.
Oh, you know what? I do remember a good shoot your shot that I got.
Okay.
So this was probably prior to me posting my husband. So I will give this guy a little credit about that. This was earlier on in my social media career.
Okay.
He said, and he came in with a pretty full, so it started with compliments. It started with some acknowledgement of my content. And then it ended with, which I think is a great line, but it was like, I want to spoil you. And I was like, that is
so lovely.
that was nice.
Yeah.
And then he went on to explain kind of how, so he was like, I want to fly you out.
Oh, okay.
He
Flew
was
it
in
out.
Houston, which,
Right.
that's a real quick flight. But I want to fly you to Houston. I want to take you shopping.
Yeah.
I want to do all these things. Like, you deserve to
Yeah.
be taken care of. And he really, he did. And here's the thing about shooting your shot. I did come back with a very kind of professional response.
Yeah.
And yes, I'm not available. I'm in a relationship, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, he kept going.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nobody didn't catch the no.
He didn't, he was not one of the respectful ones. So he went on to kind of say, yep, I hear you, and the offer stands. You let me know when you want to come. I'm gonna, I was like, oh, okay, no, thank you.
That's a hard one too, because you want to be kind and you're like, I really want to hope that the boundary is clear. But folks will leap and shoot right on over the line.
They will.
Quite often.
Which is ridiculous.
I don't get too much of that.
I don't know why you don't.
Not like that. I think it's.
But I feel like, don't you get people, I would think men and women, like, hey girl, what's up?
Well, my page is really.
Still, I don't care. I know it's professional and all of that, but I feel like
Folks be in my comments, but they don't be in my DMs. And here's the thing. If you're in my comments, it's not enough for me. If you want to shoot, and so this is an invitation to, depending on where I am in my life when people see this is an invitation. I am not someone who's closed off to that. I'm definitely picky and particular about communication. So if I'm really feeling like you see me, I'll see you too. And so a good story about that is actually in my mid-20s,
Last year?
yes, love it. Can't take it. One of my best friends actually was in the military, and she forwarded me a message from someone, or maybe took a screenshot, and it said all this nice stuff about, very nice, like, oh, this woman is radiant and I love what she's putting out. Just please let her know that someone sees her and what she's doing in the world and it's needed, something like that. And you know, he made the point to say, I'm not trying to, like, I don't necessarily want her to feel like I'm sorry, I don't want to be that guy in her inbox. And this is way before, I believe this is before the term like sliding in DMs was a thing.
Oh, wow.
So we were doing it, people were doing it, but we didn't have, like, it wasn't a culture yet.
Got it, okay.
Because at that time, I think we were still like, people you knew only could even get in your inbox. Now it's a wild west, So she sent me that. And I remember telling her, like, no, tell him thank you. And, like, he should come and just, you know, we should connect because I like to give gratitude. And no intention on anything else. And we became Facebook friends. We connected with each other for about a year as friends on just, hi, how you doing? I see you. I think he started school during that period. I moved to Austin, Texas. And when I moved to Austin, we connected more. And we actually ended up dating for several years. Yeah, one of my favorite humans.
That is so great. And you guys are still friends?
We're friends. Yes, we are. Which is, you know, people probably have questions about how you can. Yes, we are genuinely friends. Like, genuinely friends. But I'm so grateful. At that time, it was well received, and I'm really grateful for that. That I was in a space where I could filter through, see him, see the compliment, and I didn't need that validation. So I didn't like feel, oh yeah, let me be with you, or you know, I don't need that. It was just a healthy, neutral. I was in a super self-love space at that time.
That's so great.
Super into building myself and building my confidence. So it was well received, and I never thought we would date and be together.
What you know what I like about it is that because he messaged someone who you trusted and were connected to, it almost like vetted him.
It totally did, because of course I asked her even before communicating, like, well, is he like, what kind of, and she's like, oh no, he's a great person, and we're all still friends and connected. So yeah.
Did he ever say what he thought was going to be the outcome of that?
No.
Like after you all actually got together?
No, I was, something that I think is just special about him, and I would say any person that I've dated, to be honest, whether it worked out or not, was that there's a type of person, you just have to be a really confident, certain in your own way person with yourself to date me. Because I'm really sure about a lot of things about myself, not everything, but I'm really grounded and fortified in the basic who I am. So for you to see it, for you to even see it and then confidently speak to it, it tells me that you know that about yourself. Now, you know, what happens after that is totally up to two people, but I think recognition and courage and confidence, it's mutual.
I like that. So you need a real confident man.
I definitely need a confident man. Because I lead in a lot of areas, and I can be honest and say I'm kind of old school. I really don't want to lead.
So you don't want to lead in it?
Not at all.
Interesting.
So it's going to take someone who can really come in and I can trust and have that confidence in.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That you can identify that that's how you need to show up in relationships.
Yeah, I need someone to.
Because you out here killing it.
I need somebody to spank me, baby. Sit down. Yeah. I need that, and I'm okay with saying that. I didn't know that for a long time. I'm very clear now.
So when you didn't know it, did you find yourself like floundering, like trying to figure out?
This is just taking us somewhere else, but I love it. It definitely resulted in me dealing with people who felt inadequate once they got in the game, because they were attracted to this light version of myself. But once you really get beneath that with me, you can see I have built up quite a few defenses and protection mechanisms, ones that I have to be very conscious of and that I've learned through the years, but without someone coming in having done their own work,
that's the key right
you know,
there.
you'll be looking at me doing mine, and I can be a little bit hard on myself. So, which means that I'm probably critiquing other people too.
Got it.
And I can be honest and say that's caused a lot of issues in my personal relationships.
Okay.
So I'm grateful to be in a space where I'm like, no, I really need a man to show up confidently, having at least really started.
Yes.
If not, I would love somebody who's deep into their work.
Yeah. That'd be great.
I don't want a beginner.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you.
No.
Almost a master's degree and
At least, if not a PhD.
right.
So my friend, just really quickly, my friend says, we're not interested in renovations. We like turnkeys.
Oh, damn.
That's where I'm at. I would love a turnkey. I'm willing to show up and do my work though.
Yes.
For the partnership.
Which is great. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
So Kaycee, before we go, I just want to know,
Yeah.
since we went here,
Okay.
your partner, your husband, what's your dynamic in terms of like that, you know, the leadership versus like how do you?
Yeah, good question. So my husband is a introvert who shows up a lot of times in his work as a bit more extroverted, but he likes to do things behind the scenes, right? But he also does a lot of facilitating and consulting, so it involves him being around large teams.
Yeah.
And so when he's finished with that work,
Yeah.
he's like,
I'm like your husband in that way. Yeah.
he's like, yeah, I'm
good.
good. And here I come. I'm not at the party. And he's like, shit, like, that's a lot.
Interesting.
That's a lot right now. And I'm going to need, yes. So I think it's taken me a lot of time to understand what he needs and to not to personalize it. And then I really appreciate how much he appreciates just who I am.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
And he just rolls with it.
That's so beautiful.
Like, he just rolls with it. I don't really know how to. But I think for me, in my, I don't know. It's like I'm extroverted, however. Okay, this will just make sense when I sum it up. So I don't know if you've ever done the BDSM test.
No.
Okay, we have.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So my top result is I'm a switch.
Okay.
So basically that means I equally like to be dominant and submissive.
Yeah.
So honestly, that's how I show up in my
I
relationship.
need this test.
No, you need to do it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's where we're going next. I'm going to take this test. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
I want the beer battered cauliflower.
Right?
Great, how are you?
That's what I like to see, Kaycee.
I appreciate that you both, and I've experienced this consistently with Kaycee, that you show up. You show up and we get to show up. And we get to show up and be our authentic selves. And you have created that space. And now you both have partnered. And I like the fact there's different generations. We're talking about generations and ideologies and it's important to talk about that and to transform, right? So I just want to tell you both, thank you. I enjoyed this. Like, you can feel it. You can feel it. It's very intentional, and it's something I prayed for because we don't have that out here. Kaycee and I had this conversation initially.
Yeah.
It's missing in Texas. Come on,
Right.
y'all know.
Yes. Yes.
Thank
So
you.
the fact that you both are out here and doing this, thank you. Thank you. I just want to say thank you.
I think for me, it was Kaycee who I first noticed. And it was just something about her mode of delivery of the things that she was talking about that a lot of people are like, can you say that? But a lot of us are thinking it.
Yeah.
And then she introduced you, Ray, and then it was like this energy was like, okay, they're giving two different ends of the spectrum. And yeah, I just really wish, more guys would kind of just latch on to this, because I'm learning some serious things that in wherever I'm going next, I'm gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know that's right.
I remember being in a place where just talking about insecurity scared me, because I think it made me not feel as strong as I want other people to believe that I am in all areas of my life and who I am. Particularly as a therapist, I think there's this pressure that I should be empowered in all areas of my life. And that's a pressure that I put on myself. No one did that to me.
My greatest insecurity is the fear that I would leave this earth not having fulfilled my purpose. It wakes me up in the middle of the night, and sometimes my dreams are so vivid because I know the purpose of my life. But like many creative people, I struggle with knowing that every step I'm making is moving me towards that direction, that the needle is pointing in the right way.
I'm afraid of rejection. I'm afraid of putting myself out there, and the person, the place, the entity, the organization, whomever I approach, I'm afraid that they won't value my ask. And that has prevented me from making moves. In my career, it's held me back in my personal life as well.
Second guessing myself or ruminating over possible outcomes and hoping that by waiting for the right moment, it'll become the right moment, if you know what I mean.
And it's been a journey for me to support myself through introspection, journaling, through my own healing work with my therapist, to allow myself to feel afraid, but recognize that I can be afraid and empowered at the same time. I can do things afraid. But I want to get to a place where I completely eliminate the fear of rejection. I'm still on that journey. It's going to take me some time.
I've never been afraid to shoot my shot per se. I love to take chances. I love to put myself out there and be uncomfortable within the confinement of the things that light my soul on fire. So I don't necessarily go after things that don't excite me, especially creatively, but in my relationships, and be it personally or professionally, I've seen that initial courage be the impetus for the relationship, but when that spark is gone, it leaves me questioning, like many people, I'm sure, if I am on the right track, if I'm in the right relationship.
But as long as I put one foot in front of the other and bet on myself and recognize that I'm gonna have to hear no in order to hear my yeses. And shooting my shot is, as scary as it can sound sometimes, it's daring, it's risky, but it's necessary.
things don't have to be so extreme, right? I don't have to be so hot or so cold, yet there's this middle place, this nice, solid, secure middle space, even for weird girls like me who don't fit the status quo, for wild women who are never going to be the traditional picture of mother or wife or partner, but still have, you know, someone who still has those desires, but wasn't necessarily raised in an environment or saw many examples of what that looked like, while also honoring this wild creative side. So yes, I have insecurities. My insecurities are rooted in the fear of not living to my greatest potential and not doing what it is that God called me to do on this planet.
I think sometimes my insecurities come out in me being a recovering people pleaser and wanting to be accepted, wanting to be understood. You know what? I've definitely gotten to a place, though, where if I continue to live my life being concerned about what other people think about me, I will never know my full potential. And that's not acceptable for me.
I'll never stop shooting my shot. I guess the work that I hope to continue to do in the next chapter of my life looks like seeing myself in spaces that I was never taught that I could, and imagining my life and the possibilities for myself that there were no books, pictures, or models for me to implement. I'm starting to see my life and visualize my life and create the one that I want by feeling it and connecting with those who have some of those elements, and just remembering I'm absolutely worthy of it, even if I know nothing about it. So I do want to be a mother. I do want to be a wife. I do want to have partnership. And I want to leave an impact on my community. And even if I don't know how to do those things, I know that I can. And I know that that is a part of God's plan for me.
I'm not afraid to admit that I get insecure. And I get afraid of how people may view me, my request, my ask, my shot. But I'm going to keep doing the personal work and grow. It's gotten me this far, and I'm pretty pleased with where I am.
2, 1, and go.
Hi, I'm Kaycee.
And I'm Ray, and this is Pleasure and Play, the show. And I'll keep rolling. I'll keep rolling. I got you. No, I got you.
Okay.
No, you're good.
I'll be winging it.
We're two strangers. Let's be clear. We were two strangers.